Top of the day, beautiful people. Top of the day. Betwabu, Betwabu. Trina, Betwabu, Betwabu. Hey, girl, hey. Let's see. I say my book fills up so fast. Yeah. Yep. Tiffany, hey, girl, hey. Betwabu, Betwabu. Okay, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. I ain't gonna take too long today. Something I wanted to bring up. The title, No Bullying, right? As they begin to put our people on lockdown here in the States, some places they already started doing it, right? And they haven't made it mandatory yet where they're actually patrolling the streets. They're still getting troops and stuff in place. But I was thinking about it, and although I've been homeschooling for the last couple of years, I really hadn't had to deal with it, except for with Jeremiah before he asked us to pull him back out back in January, because we put him back in public schools, right? A lot of parents who have been dealing with the issue of their children being bullied is going to be pretty much non-existent, especially since the schools, they're going to be out for the rest of the year anyway. In some of the schools, like in Kansas and a couple other places, I forgot the states, but they have already put out the notice that their schools was going to be closed all the way for the rest of the year. So we're looking to see the rest of the states follow suit with that, right? So I look at it, not only, granted, it's kind of a scary time for some people, but not that scary if you just prepare and, it'll bring families back together. And I think I mentioned this before. They get to spend time together, especially if can't nobody go to work or whatever, if they're not essential personnel. But at least they'll be in, I guess some homes are not safe places, but that's a whole different story. And sometimes there's not really anything any of us can do unless we know about a situation that's going on in somebody's home where they're being abused, where it's not a safe place. We pray for them, that something would happen, that Yahuwah would, I don't know, make it a safe place for them or move them to a place with a family member or something where they're safe. But I'm talking about children who are being bullied in school. They come home and the parents, they've constantly talked to administrators, and it seems like, nothing is being done. And then I guess some of the kids, they just kind of go quiet and keep it to themselves. We'll see suicide rates amongst the teens go down and amongst the youth because they don't have to be there amongst that peer pressure and all that garbage that they learn from a lot of their peers. This is actually a time of refreshing for them, and they can just go home. And granted, they may have cell phones, but even the parents can limit that, So it's really a time of reprieve for them, just to breathe, just to be away from all that drama that happens in school amongst teenagers, So I know we dealt with it for a little bit with Jeremiah. And Jeremiah, I thank y'all for Jeremiah, because although he used to be extra active and it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do with this child? He's grown up to where, granted, he's still a teenager, but he's more mature mentally in a lot of aspects than other people. He's one that his friends kind of come to for advice and stuff, but then he still had those issues with some of the other boys, the teenagers. I don't know, maybe they were jealous of him or something or whatever. He would come tell us about it. I would go over there, talk to the counselors and everything. And Jeremiah, he has a bit of I ain't gonna say a short temper, but he can only take so much to where he gonna knock your head off. And he has a whole lot of strength in his body, and he knows he has a whole lot of strength in his body. So he decided, he said, Mom, he said, before I hurt somebody, or before I get in a lot of trouble, please take me back out of school. I was homeschooling him last year, And then he asked to go back in because it was his sophomore year. We talked about it. I was like, okay, if your grades start falling, we're gonna pull you back out. He said it's not, but that wasn't even really the issue. The issue with him going back this time was not the peer pressure, but the guys and the girls and stuff. And the girls was like googly eyed over him. And granted, he was like, oh, all these girls are gonna listen. Don't let them distract you. But apparently, I don't know. Maybe some of the girls that had boyfriends or whatever up there, they was starting to take issue with him because they was thinking he was trying to talk to their girlfriends and all that. He would come home and tell us about him. Listen, just ignore them, Jeremiah. Do your work, whatever. Then apparently a couple of them approached him and stuff, and then they had a dream about him getting into some trouble. Then when Elijah called me, he told me about a dream that he had about him at the high school, and it really made me afraid. And eventually I prayed about it. Then eventually Jeremiah came and asked. He said, Mom, please take me back out. So back in January, we pulled him back out, and we were homeschooling him again. So, but I really thank y'all for this time for the teenagers to be away from all the garbage, and drama that they have at a lot of the high schools. Not all of them. Some can ignore it and go on, but some are not strong enough, and it really takes a toll on their mental state, and they're not able to deal with it. And we know because the youth suicide rate has gone through the roof. Is ridiculous simply because of peer pressure. And cell phones don't make it any better because they post stuff on World Hip Hop and social media and all this stuff, and it makes it more embarrassing for the teenage victim, whoever is involved, and they just think they can't bear all the embarrassment, and they think it's better to go. And when it's not, So I really do thank y'all for this time, for a time of reprieve for the teenagers, especially the ones who've been dealing with all the drama and garbage at the high schools, So that's all I really wanted to say today. Still y'all prepare, and just, be mindful of everything that's going on while the stores are restocking. Some stuff they're just out of right now, and I don't think the trucks, at least I know around here, sorry y'all, some stuff they just don't have stock on anymore here, So I'm gonna go back out today a little bit. James is funny. Yesterday, when James came in the house, I had just finished cooking dinner, so he was walking in the house and handing his plate to him. So we sat right here at the little table. We was talking. He was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good." And he said, "Babe, I want to apologize." I'm like, "For what?" He said, "For telling you don't go get no more stuff." He said, "I think we need some more meat. I need you to go back out tomorrow. I need you to find chicken. I need you to find beef." I said, "Baby, if I can find it." He said, "I'm so look," because what was it? A few days, was it? I want to say it was for last Friday. When I remember the morning, he was like, "You got stuff all over the floor." I didn't have stuff all over the floor. I'd been put the stuff up yesterday, but I had gotten canned foods and stuff like that just to stock up, right? And so he was like, "You spending all this money going to get all this stuff," but it was like canned foods and stuff, y'all. So, but anyway, I said when I walked out the kitchen, I said, "You gonna love me next week when you realize what's going on." I said, "You ain't gonna be mad." So he was like, "Babe, I'm really sorry." He said, "I'm sorry for telling you, stop buying stuff." He said, "Because we need to eat." And I ain't say nothing. I just smiled. I was like, "You good, babe. You good." So, but yeah, he said, "I need you to go back out tomorrow." He said, "You need to get this. You need to get this. Check over here if they ain't got it over here." He said, "Just check a few places." He said, "Try Sam's Club." I was like, "I'm not standing them long lines of Sam's Club." He said, "Well, we got the business membership. We might still be able to get in at 6 a.m. So I called and checked. Like, no, all patrons come in the hours from 9 to 8 p.m. daily. So ain't nobody getting in early unless you like pre-ordered stuff, and you can pick that up at 7. So I'm like, yeah, okay. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. He's funny. He's so funny. But he said, "Yeah, I realize you're just trying to make sure we're gonna eat." And so last night we was eating dinner, and they ain't eat all that food. He said, "Y'all better eat all that food." He said, "If you don't eat that, you gonna eat it later. Don't be wasting nothing." And he came back downstairs after he finished. He got something to eat. Then he went upstairs and he came back down and got someone, took it upstairs, and he came back down. He was like, "Shoot, I was thinking about getting thirds because I don't know what food gonna run out." He said, "I'm trying to eat all I can now." I was like, "You better stop it and conserve this food that we got in here." It was so funny. But all right, y'all. I just wanted to share that. That was funny. All right, y'all. Happy Thursday. It is March 19th, 2020, day 101. And we are reading 1 Kings 13, 14, and 15. All right, y'all. So let me get started. 1 Kings chapter 13. And behold, there came a man of God out of Judah by the word of Yahuwah unto Bethel. And Jeroboam stood by the altar to burn incense. And he cried against the altar in the word of Yahuwah, and said, O altar, altar, thus saith Yahuwah, behold, a child shall be born into the house of David, Josiah by name, and upon thee shall he offer the priests of the high places that burn incense upon thee, and men's bones shall be burnt upon thee. And he gave a sign the same day, saying, This sign which Yahuwah hath spoken, behold, the altar shall be rent, and the ashes that are upon it shall be poured out. And it came to pass, when King Jeroboam heard the saying of the man of God, which had cried against the altar in Bethel, that he put forth his hand from the altar, saying, Lay hold on him. And his hand, which he put forth against him, dried up, so that he could not pull it in again to him. And the altar also was rent, and the ashes poured out from the altar, according to the sign which the man of Yahuwah had given by the word of Yahuwah. And the king answered and said unto the man of God, Entreat now the face of Yahuwah thy God, and pray for me, that my hand may be restored to me again. And the man of God besought Yahuwah, and the king's hand was restored him again, and it became as it was before. And the king said unto the man of God, Come home with me, and refresh thyself, and I will give thee a reward. And the man of God said unto the king, If thou wilt give me half of thine house, I will not go in with thee, neither will I eat bread nor drink water in this place. So it was charged me by the word of Yahuwah, saying, Eat no bread, nor drink no water, nor turn again by the same way that thou camest. But he went another way, and returned not by the way which he came to Bethel. Now there dwelt an old prophet in Bethel, and his sons came to him and told him all the works that the man of God had done in that day in Bethel, and the words which he had spoken unto the king. Them they told also to their father. And their father said unto them, What way went he? For his sons had seen the way that the man of God went, which came from Judah. And he said unto his sons, Saddle me the ass. So that they saddled him the ass, and he rode thereon. And he went after the man of God, and found him sitting under an oak tree. And he said unto him, Art thou the man of God that camest from Judah? And he said, I am. Then said he unto him, Come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I may not return with thee, nor go in with thee, neither will I eat bread nor drink water with thee in this place. For it was said to me by the word of Yahuwah, Thou shalt eat no bread nor drink water there, nor turn to go by the way that thou camest. And he said unto him, I am a prophet also, as thou art. And an angel spake unto me by the word of Yahuwah, saying, Bring him back with thee into thine house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied unto him. So he went back with him, and did eat bread in his house and drink water. I was like, bruh, y'all didn't tell you that. I still don't understand this story. Let me tell you something. I still don't understand the story. Okay, so Tiffany, in this story, y'all sent a prophet, and he told him, on your journey, what I'm sending you to do, he said, do what I told you to do. He said, but do not go into anybody's house. Don't eat any bread or drink any water. He was essentially testing him. And that was the word Yahuwah gave directly to the prophet from Judah. He said, don't go to anybody's house. Don't eat, no drink, nothing with them. Just continue on your way. So he did what he did. And then the old prophet came to him, and he lied to him. He said, I'm a prophet too. And y'all told me to tell you to come home with me and, rest there, eat and drink, But here's the thing. And we see it a lot of times today. A lot of time we kind of forsake the word that we heard Yahuwah say ourselves when somebody else comes along and say that they're a prophet and he gave me a word. Because if it don't line up with what Yahuwah already told me, if you say something different than what my last command was from y'all, I'm completely ignoring what you. Go on about your business. I have nothing to do with you. And that's essentially what he should have did, but he didn't. He disobeyed Yahuwah, he disobeyed what Yahuwah told him. Yahuwah said, don't do it. But when the other prophet came and told him, y'all was testing him. So he should have listened to y'all when an older prophet came and said, well, I'm a prophet too. He said, and Yah told me to tell you this. And he listened to the older prophet instead of listening to the voice of Yah. Listening, by him doing that, it cost him his life by listening to this older prophet that said Yahuwah spoke to him to tell him what to do. He going to lose his life because he failed this particular test. And he said, hold on. I read 18 again. And he said unto him, I am a prophet also as thou art. And an angel spake unto me by the word of Yahuwah, saying, bring him back with thee into thine house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied unto him. So he went back with him and did eat bread in his house and drink water. And it came to pass, as they sat at the table, that the word of Yahuwah came unto the prophet that brought him back. And he cried unto the man of God that came from Judah, saying, thus saith Yahuwah, for as much as thou hast disobeyed the mouth of Yahuwah, and hast not kept the commandment which Yahuwah thy God commanded thee, but camest back and hast eaten bread and drunk water in the place of the which Yahuwah said to thee, eat no bread and drink no water, thy carcass shall not come unto the sepulchre of thy fathers. And it came to pass, after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk, that he saddled for him the ass, to wit, for the prophet whom he had brought back. And when he was gone, a lion met him by the way and slew him, and his carcass was cast in the way, and the ass stood by it. The lion also stood by the carcass. And behold, men passed by and saw the carcass cast in the way, and the lion standing by the carcass. And they came and told it to the city where the old prophet dwelt. And when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard thereof, he said, it is the man of God who was disobedient unto the word of Yahuwah. Therefore Yahuwah hath delivered him unto the lion, which hath torn him and slain him according to the word of Yahuwah, which he spake unto him. And he spake unto his son, saying, saddle me the ass. And they saddled him, and he went forth and found his carcass in the way, and the ass and the lion standing by the carcass. And the lion had not eaten the carcass, nor torn the ass. And the prophet took up the carcass of the man of God, and laid it upon the ass, and brought it back. And the old prophet came into the city to mourn and bury him. And he laid his carcass in his own grave, and they mourned over him, saying, alas, my brother. And it came to pass, after they had buried him, that he spake to his son, saying, when I am dead, then bury me in a sepulchre wherein the man of God is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones. For the saying which he cried by the word of Yahuwah against the altar in Bethel, and against all the houses and the high places which are in the cities of Samaria, shall surely come to pass. After this thing, Jeroboam returned not to his evil way, but made again the lowest of the people priests of the high places. Whosoever would, he consecrated him, and he became one of the priests of the high places. And this thing became sin unto the house of Jeroboam, even to cut it off and to destroy it off of the face of the earth. 1 Kings chapter 14. At that time, Abijah the son of Jeroboam fell sick, and Jeroboam said to his wife, arise, I pray thee, and disguise thyself, that thou be not known to be the wife of Jeroboam, and get thee to Shiloh. Behold, there is Ahijah the prophet, which told me that I should be king over this people. And take with thee 10 loaves and cracked nails, and a cruse of honey, and go to him, and he shall tell thee what shall become of the child. And Jeroboam's wife did so, and arose and went to Shiloh, and came to the house of Ahijah. But Ahijah could not see, for his eyes were set by reason of his age. And Yahuwah said unto Ahijah, behold, the wife of Jeroboam cometh to ask a thing of thee for her son, for he is sick. And thus shalt thou say unto her, for it shall be, when she cometh in, that she shall feign herself to be another woman. And it was so, when Ahijah heard the sound of her feet, as she came in at the door, he said, come in, thou wife of Jeroboam. Why feignest thou self to be another? For I am sent to thee with heavy tidings. Go tell Jeroboam, thus saith Yahuwah, the God of Israel, for as much as I exalted thee from among the people, and made thee prince over my people Israel, and rent the kingdom away from the house of David, and gave it to thee, and yet thou hast not been as my servant David, who kept my commandments, and who followed me with all his heart, to do that only which was right in my eyes. But thou hast done evil above all that were before thee, for thou hast gone and made the other gods and molten images to provoke me to anger, and hast cast me behind thy back. Therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam, and will cut off from Jeroboam him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will take away the remnant of the house of Jeroboam as a man taketh away dung, till it all be gone. Him that dieth of Jeroboam in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat, for Yahuwah hath spoken it. Arise thou, therefore, get thee to thine house, and when thy feet enter into the city, the child shall die. And all Israel shall mourn for him and bury him, for he only of Jeroboam shall come to the grave, because in him there is found some good thing toward Yahuwah the God of Israel in the house of Jeroboam. Moreover, Yahuwah shall raise him up a king over Israel, who shall cut off the house of Jeroboam that day. But what? Even now. For Yahuwah shall smite Israel as a reed is shaken in the water, and he shall root up Israel out of this good land which he gave to their fathers, and shall scatter them beyond the river, because they have made their groves, provoking Yahuwah to anger. And he shall give Israel up because of the sins of Jeroboam, who did sin, and who made Israel to sin. And Jeroboam's wife arose and departed, and came to Tirzah. And when she came to the threshold of the door, the child died. And they buried him, and all Israel mourned for him, according to the word of Yahuwah, which he spake by the hand of his servant Ahijah the prophet. The rest of the acts of Jeroboam, how he warred and how he reigned, behold, they are written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel. And the days which Jeroboam reigned were 220 years, and he slept with his fathers, and Nadab his son reigned in his stead. And Rehoboam the son of Solomon reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which Yahuwah did choose out of all of the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah the Ammonitess. And Judah did evil in the sight of Yahuwah, and they provoked him to jealousy with their sins which they had committed above all that their fathers had done. For they also built them high places and images and groves on every high hill under every green tree. And there were also Sodomites in the land, and they did according to all the abominations of the nations which Yahuwah cast out before the children of Israel. And it came to pass in the 5th year of Rehoboam that Shishak, king of Israel, came up against Jerusalem, and he took away the treasures of the house of Yahuwah and the treasures of the king's house, even all he took away. And he took away all the shields of gold which Solomon had made. And King Rehoboam made their stead brazen shields, and committed them unto the hands of the chief of the guard, which kept the door of the king's house. And it was so, when the king went into the house of Yahuwah, that the guard bare them, and brought them back into the guard chamber. Now the rest of the acts of Rehoboam, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all their days. And Rehoboam slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And his mother's name was Naamah the Ammonitess, and Abijam his son reigned in his stead. Last chapter for today, y'all. 1 Kings chapter 15. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, reigned. The son of Nebat reigned Abijam over Judah. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Maachah, the daughter of Abishalom. And he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him, and his heart was not perfect with Yahuwah his God, as the heart of David his father. Nevertheless, for David's sake did Yahuwah give him a lamp in Jerusalem, to set up his son after him, to establish Jerusalem, because David did that which was right in the eyes of Yahuwah, and turned not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. Now the rest of the acts of Abijam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam. And Abijam slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David, and Asa his son reigned in his stead. And in the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, reigned Asa over Judah. And 40 and 1 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Maachah, the daughters of Abishalom. And Asa did that which was right in the eyes of Yahuwah, as did David his father. And he took away the Sodomites of the land, and removed all the idols that his father had made. And also Maachah his mother, even her he removed from being queen, because she had made an idol in a grove. And Asa destroyed her idol and burnt it by the brook Kidron. But the high places were not removed. Nevertheless, Asa's heart was perfect with Yahuwah all his days, and he brought the things which his father had dedicated, and the things which he himself had dedicated, into the house of Yahuwah, silver and gold and vessels. And there was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. And Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might not suffer to go out a command to Asa, king of Judah. Then Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasures of the house of Yahuwah, and the treasures of the king's house, and delivered them into the hand of his servants. And King Asa sent them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Tabaram, the son of Hezion, the king of Syria, that dwelt at Damascus, saying, There is a league between me and thee, and between my father and thy father. Behold, I have sent unto thee a present of gold and silver. Come and break thy league with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may depart from me. So Ben-Hadad hearkened unto King Asa, and sent the captains of the host which he had against the cities of Israel, and smote Ijon and Dan and Abel Beth Maachah, and all Cinneroth with the land of Naphtali. And it came to pass, when Baasha heard thereof, that he left off building Ramah, and dwelt in Tirzah. Then King Asa made a proclamation throughout all Judah, none was exempted, and they took away the stones of Ramah, and the timber thereof, wherewith Baasha had built. And King Asa built them with Geba of Benjamin, and Mizpah. The rest of the acts of Asa, and all his might, and all that he did, and the cities which he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? Nevertheless, in the time of his old age, he was diseased in his feet. And Asa slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father. And Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his stead. And Nadab the son of Jeroboam began to reign over Israel in the 2nd year of Asa king of Judah, and reigned over Israel 2 years. And he did that evil in the sight of Yahuwah, and walked in the way of his father, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin. And Baasha son of Ahijah of the house of Issachar conspired with him, and Baasha smote him at Gibbethon, which belongs to the Philistines. For Nadab and all Israel laid siege to Gibbethon. Even in the 3rd year of Asa, king of Judah, did Baasha slay him, and reigned in his stead. And it came to pass, when he reigned, that he smote all the house of Jeroboam. He left not one to Jeroboam, any that breathed, until he had destroyed him, according to all the saying of Yahuwah, which he spake by the servant of Ahijah the Shilonite. Because of the sins of Jeroboam, which he sinned, and which he made Israel to sin, by his provocation wherewith he provoked Yahuwah the God of Israel to anger. Now the rest of the acts of Nadab, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And there was war between Asa and Baasha the king of Israel all their days. In the 3rd year of Asa king of Judah began Baasha the son of Ahijah to reign over all of Israel in Tirzah 24 years. And he did evil in the sight of Yahuwah, and walked in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. That was 1 Kings 13, 14, and 15. It is Thursday, March the 19th, 2020, day 101. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you missed it, go back and reread it, 13, 14, and 15. Or if you want to hear me talk, run off at the mouth, rewind the video or play it from the beginning. It'll start playing from the beginning once I post it. So with that being said, beautiful people, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I got to get a couple things done early this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and bless you so we can be about our way. And I'm going to bless you with the blessing that Yahuwah commanded to be upon his people. He said, bless my people this way and I myself will come and bless him. And it can be found in Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. All right, beautiful people, I love y'all, and I will see you in the morning. Bruce.